Before you scroll away, pause for just a moment. I know how easy it is to skip a video, to move on, to think, I'll watch something else. But what if? In the next few minutes, there's a single idea, one sentence, that could quietly change the way you see yourself, or the way you treat the people around you. What if missing that moment means missing something that could make your everyday life a little lighter, a little calmer, a little more meaningful? So, stay with me all the way to the end, because sometimes the most important realizations don't come loudly. They come softly. In moments like this, there are moments when we don't realize how deeply our thoughts shape us. They are not just passing words in our minds. They slowly become the way we see the world, the way we see ourselves, and most importantly, the way we treat others. An ugly thought never truly comes alone. It usually rises from a state, maybe from exhaustion, from frustration, from an old wound, or from a fear we haven't fully understood yet. And even if it seems small at first, almost insignificant, if we let it stay, it begins to grow. Slowly, without noticing, these thoughts begin to change our tone. It becomes harder to be patient, easier to judge. We start interpreting other people's actions in a negative way, even when there is no bad intention. And then distance appears. Not always physical, but emotional. We begin to close off, little by little. We don't offer the same warmth. We don't listen the same way. And without meaning to, the people around us feel it. Not necessarily through words, but through energy, through attitude, through small reactions. One ugly thought can become a cold look. A cold look can become a sharp word. A sharp word can become a wound. And the hardest part is that often, the person in front of us doesn't know where it all comes from. They don't see the inner struggle behind it. They only feel the result. And they respond to that. And so, a cycle begins. We think negatively. We behave more coldly. Others respond in the same way. And their response seems to confirm our initial thoughts. Without realizing it, we sink deeper into that state. But the truth is, these thoughts don't only affect others. First of all, they affect us.com. They drain us. They consume our energy. They shift our mood, even in moments when we could have been at peace. They steal the joy from simple things, from a conversation, from a walk, from a quiet moment. And over time, they can make the world seem colder than it really is. But the world is not only what we think it is, and the people around us are not just reflections of our inner state. That's why the first step is not to blame ourselves for these thoughts. They happen. It's human. Everyone has them sometimes. What matters is what we do with them. Do we let them guide us? Or do we notice them and choose something different? We can learn to recognize them without following them. We can pause for a moment, breathe, and ask ourselves, is this thought true? Is this thought helpful? Does this help anyone? Because not every thought deserves to be believed, and not every emotion needs to become an action. Sometimes, the most powerful thing we can do is to not react immediately, to choose patience over impulse, to choose understanding over judgment, to choose calm over conflict. And slowly, things begin to change. Not overnight, not perfectly, but enough to feel the difference. When our thoughts become gentler, our behavior changes. And when our behavior changes, the response from others begins to shift. Warmer, more open, more human. And then we understand something important. We can't control everything that happens around us, but we can deeply influence how we contribute to what happens. Through our thoughts, through our attitude, through small choices repeated every day. And sometimes, one different choice can completely change the direction of a relationship, a day, or even a life. So the next time an ugly thought appears, don't rush to follow it. Observe it, understand it, and then let it pass. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses what to do with them.